Hey guys, this is Marc Goldberg from Marc Vlogs Watches with another exciting episode, and I've got a new catchphrase for you. Let's try it out. It's completely original. Welcome back, watch people. Anyway, I figure if Paul can borrow some things from me, I might just start borrowing a few things from him as well. But before we get into the meat and potatoes of what will be a long-term review of the Batman on the Oyster bracelet, let's go ahead and do the quick fist watch check, and can you imagine what it might be? Get ready, hold on, could be a surprise. Here it comes. And today, indeed, I am wearing the watch in question, the Batman. And no, unlike the Pontiff, I will not sing. How long have I had this watch? I think it's about probably 3 years now. And, there was a very brief period of time where the Batman was sort of like an undesirable watch. And it actually sold on the used market below MSRP. Can you imagine that? A Steel Sports Rolex selling below MSRP on the used market. So, don't hate me for what I'm about to tell you. But for my Batman complete set, down to the coffin and the hang tag and everything else, what did I pay? I want to say I paid $7,800 for it, and it still came in the shopping bag from the authorized dealer where my buddy bought it. And in fact, that's an authorized dealer that I have purchased from before myself. So, yeah, reputable people. At any rate, the days of buying Steel Sports Rolex under MSRP, let alone something specialized and discontinued, are long gone. Now, mind you, the price history of this sucker has been all over the board. When they discontinued them, they shot up right into the $15,000 range. And I think things are settling down now a little bit more in the $13,000, $14,000 range. But correct me if I'm wrong. What are you guys seeing these sell for? Honestly, those of you who are in Paul Thorpe land, the United Kingdom, I feel, frankly, a little sorry for you guys because your market is not very competitive, particularly in the used market, and therefore the prices are like nutsy cuckoo. Plus you have some pretty stiff taxes. You've got that VAT, which is what, correct me if I'm wrong, if you are a UKer, tell me, isn't that like 20%? So watch dealers over there get nailed for a fairly high tax ratio, and therefore they just pass that along. But also the market is smaller. Yeah, so by the way, in the UK there's this myth that if the watch was originally purchased in the UK, that it's somehow better than one that was originally purchased from, let's say, a watch dealer in Cyprus or Malaysia or anywhere else, and that's ridiculous. Buy your watches wherever they come from, guys. Doesn't matter at all. I have a two-tone Submariner Bluesy, a 16613. Hey, let's drop a picture of that in right here. Here's the Bluesy, and by the way, it would mean a great deal to me if you would like this video and definitely subscribe so we can do this again together. Thanks so much for being with me. And that watch was originally sold in Paris, which I think is actually kind of cool. But frankly, it doesn't matter where your watch originates. They all go back to Switzerland. So I have a bit of a confession to make as relates to the Batman, and that would be that I didn't love it when I bought it. I mean, of course I did the typical watch collector thing, bought a new watch and wore the snot out of it, slept in it for a couple of weeks. Then I started to wear it more sporadically, and then I didn't wear it nearly as much and got ultimately much more fascinated by dive watches than the GMT function. And for a while, I would say these polished center links got on my nerves. Which, by the way, I have made a couple of other videos about the Batman, so I will stick them in the description of this video here. I would love to say, hey, I'll put it up in the corner for you, but frankly, I don't know how to do that. This is a very low-tech operation, but if you go to the comments section where there's a description for this video, I'll put some links there, and then you can take a look back. And one of my very, very popular videos was called 5 Things I Hate About the Batman. Got me a lot of hate mail. People didn't think I should be hating on the Batman. But the funny thing is that since I made that video, I've really had a change of heart, and the polished center links have grown on me. So, yeah, I mean, you can polish them up once or twice a year with a Cape Cod cloth. And heck, I'll put a video link in the description of how to do that, because I've done that many times also. So, not to worry. I think if you want to go out and buy something with polished center links, be not afraid. Just go ahead and do it. It's something that you can clean up yourself periodically, if you want to. But okay, so I had this little epiphany when the watch got really expensive. As you know, I coined another phrase, which you will probably see on the Paul Thorpe channel within 6 weeks. Paul, I like your channel too. I'm glad you watch me. The phrase that I have coined lately is "feel the steal," which means don't put your Rolex away, don't make it a safe queen, wear it. But I guess I should really probably start taking my own advice, don't you think? Because the second this thing became super expensive, I became a little more in love with it. Like, isn't that shallow? But I'm going to confess that's true. And at the same time, I didn't want to wear it much because I thought, oh, it's like a $15,000 watch. I might scratch it. And I think I just should have followed my own advice, feel the steal. So I'm just coming off of a week-long photo shoot, a trip where I was like away from home. And I brought 2 watches only. I brought my Marathon G-SAR, which is a rough and tumble, rugged dive watch, but it's not fancy, it's not pretentious, a little like this one. And I brought a something even rougher and tougher than that. I brought a G-Shock. So I got home and I felt a little bit jonesed for wearing one of the Rollies, and this is the one that I decided to put out. And then the second this thing hit my wrist, I thought, wow, it's more noticeable than a Submariner because of these PCLs, right? So I think I'm going to wear this a while. And I sort of want your opinion. First, as you know, this watch is discontinued on the Jubilee bracelet, and it has been reissued. No, correction. This has been discontinued on the Oyster bracelet, but it has been reissued on the Jubilee bracelet. This version is called the Batman, and I think it was Guy over at Just Bluefish Watches who coined the term Batgirl, and I feel like we should give credit where credit is due. Some people in this YouTube industry could learn that. But at any rate, I think it was Guy. This one, the Batman, Guy, I want to say nicknamed the new version, the Batgirl, because it looks not quite as rugged on a Jubilee bracelet, a little flashier of a bracelet, a little sparklier. It looks like someone bedazzled it, and they took the lugs here and they narrowed them down just the slightest bit, which is something that I have reported is going to happen to the Submariner, because this is a true maxi dial with super case, big fat wide lugs, and the pre-ceramic versions of the Submariner and the GMT were much thinner in the lugs. And one of my spies, Rat 2.0 Matahari, insists, and it seems to me to be quite logical, that at Basel World 2020 we're going to see those slim down lugs that hit the GMT. We're going to see them on the Submariner also. So what it looks like it's going to be happening is some compromise between the skinny, elegant, thin lug profile of the pre-ceramics. There's going to be a compromise between that and then this fat, some people would say grotesque, lug profile in the super case. But I'm a big fan of the super case because, look, it gives you all kinds of wrist presence. So, I think at the end of the day, what's happening here is, since I've pulled this out, I've decided I should feel the steal. I shouldn't worry that it's too expensive to wear. I think I should just start enjoying my watch. And, that's where I'm at with this now. I'm just going to enjoy the bloody watch. So, a couple questions for you guys, and we can talk about this in the comments. I will be there right with you. And the first thing is, how do you feel about the difference between the Batman and the Batgirl? That's number one. Number two, do you really care about the movement? Because the Batgirl has an updated movement. It is, I think, slightly more shock resistant, slightly more magnetized proof, and certainly has a longer power reserve. This one has a 48-hour power reserve, and the new movement has the 72-hour power reserve. And to be very honest with you, I don't especially care about that. This one already has Paraflex shock absorbers and a Parachrome hairspring, so this is really an excellent watch, and I much prefer the slightly fatter lugs and the manlier yet flashy bracelet, this version of the Oyster bracelet. I feel like I prefer that a whole lot over the Jubilee bracelet, which doesn't even weigh quite as much. It's a few grams shy of a full deck compared to this one. So for my money, I will take the original Batman, but the whole GMT line, there's nothing on an Oyster bracelet anymore. All of the GMTs now, the only thing in current production on GMT is the Batman and the Pepsi. Will they issue a Coke? We don't know. Will they put something else on an Oyster bracelet with a GMT? I don't think so. So what's happening here is this and the black, these are like the last bastion of the modern GMT in a ceramic bezel, but on a nice oyster bracelet built for men. Well, guys, I don't know. I think I'm going to wear this more. I don't really know what's going to happen to the price of it, but one thing I have learned is never sell a Rolex, man, especially not anything in modern production. If you want to sell something that's like recently discontinued, you're going to really regret it. I don't know what, I actually think it doesn't pay to sell anything in the way of Rolex until supplies begin to open up a little bit. And that is supposed to be happening in the fall now. We have heard rumors again that the orders are going to get filled as we move towards Christmas, that Rolex has opened the spigot a little bit in Switzerland, increased supply just enough so that the authorized dealers can begin to fulfill orders by Christmas. But do not expect the market to flood with Rolex. Do not expect price depression because, and you heard it on this channel first, Rolex has decided to become the new Patek, and they're going to do that with half the horology and twice the price. This watch here already sells for what a Calatrava would sell for in precious metal. From Patek Philippe, un grand classique de Patek Philippe. Well, guys, I want to thank you for having joined me. I know I was a little snarky in this video, but hey, it's all in good fun, right? And I would appreciate you throwing me a like, subscribing to my channel, all of that good stuff. I've got lots more to say. I got a whole lot of stuff that I want to talk to you about, so let's do it again together. See you next time. Goldberg, peace out.